What's up, everybody? It's Codemaster Hardrock back at it again with another chaotic deck profile. This time we're looking at my Unity deck. Some of these cards are borrowed from other decks and I'll be returning them to those respective decks. But if you want to build this type of deck, that's what this video is for. This is actually a request from my buddy Cam, so be nice. His challenge to me was build a Unity deck involving both the sisters Ivena and Nivena. And with that being said, this is my personal build. I only build with the physical cards that I had. Shoutouts to the Chaotic Discord, by the way, for helping me out with this build. And if you hear typing, that is my fiance, just a couple steps away. With that being said, of course, we're going to go over the locations, then attacks, then music, then creatures with battle gear associated with them. With that being said, guys, let's start from the top. We have Lore's Chamber of Recall. Initiative power. When this becomes the active location, remove all general discard piles from the game. And it has a Mirage ability. At the beginning of combat, engage creatures in this space with 30 or less scanned energy. Gain 30 energy. That's pretty sweet, putting them at 60 if it has 30. But yeah, with that being said, let's move on to a double Gorram's Briefing. Now, I wanted to make a Unity deck focusing on Unity and having something for everything. With Gorram's Briefing, Initiative Courage. At the beginning of combat, engaged creatures gain 5 energy and 5 to all disciplines for each tribe in their controller's army. Now, considering this deck has Overworld, Underworld, Danian, Mipedim, and Marillion, that is an extra 25 energy and disciplines to all of my creatures, which is pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Then next we have Everrain. Initiative Courage, water attacks deal an additional 5, whereas Earth is reduced by 5. That becomes important, as you will see with this build. Next is Gigantempopolis. Initiative power. At the beginning of combat, each engaged overworld creature gains a magician counter. That will become helpful when you see this deck leader for this deck. Next is the Northrange Highground. Initiative Courage. When Northrange becomes the active location, choose a tribe. All creatures count as that tribe. And then it has a Mirage ability. Creatures in this space count as all tribes. This becomes extremely helpful, given the fact that we have a confirmation of 5 tribes, soon to be 6 with the Frozen, except no Frozen cards exist. So we're going to have to stick with 5. Now, next is a double Magma Dam. The Magma Dam, sorry. Initiative Air, and creatures without fire have Recklessness 5. That becomes very helpful later on. And lastly, for my locations, is a double Mipedim Mirage. Initiative Danian. All creatures gain Swift 1, and it has Mirage. If a creature can move into the space, it must do so. So with that being said, those are all the locations to this deck. Next, we're going to be moving on to the attacks. And if I can scoot everything aside, there we go. We're going to be looking at our first one with Heat Rage. Build 1, 5 fire, 5 water. If I have fire, gain 10 wisdom. That's helpful. Then we have Outwit. 5 fire, stat check power 50, deal 5 damage. Stat check wisdom 50, deal 5. So that's 15 damage. Not too shabby. Then we have a double Steam Rage, looking at 5 fire, 5 water. Then we're looking at a double Consuming Flame, 15 fire. Then a double Flood Force, looking at 15 water. Then we have Perplexing Heat, 10 fire, 10 water. If I have fire, opposing creature loses 25 wisdom. Then we have... Whoop, cards are flying everywhere. We have Rain Spears. Rain Spears has 10 base, 10 water, stat check wisdom 60, deal 10. Not too shabby. Then we have Fire Ram. 10 base, 10 fire, stat check power 60, deal 10. By the way, the last one was a build 3. The last one before that was a build 2. This one, Fire Ram's also a build 3. Then we have 2 Riptides, build 1, 5 base, 5 water. If I have water, opposing creature loses 25 courage. Then I have 2 Tidal Surge, which costs 0, but it has 5 water. Tidal Surge deals 0 damage to the opposing creature if the opposing engaged creature has any Mugic counters. Then we have Thermo Rings, 5 fire, 5 water, stat check wisdom 50, deal 5. It's another 15 build, not too shabby. Then we have, sorry for the shaking. Then we have Invader's Tactics, build 1, 10 base, 0 water. If your opponent controls the active location, deal an additional 5 damage. That is 15 damage, and if you have, let's say a Torrent Crinth, that 0 turns into a 5, so that's nice. Then we have a double Inner Flood, is 2/0 builds, 0 water. It has water, remove a Magician counter from a creature and put it to a Mugic counter on another creature controlled by the same player. This will help when you guys see the build strategy as well as the combos that I have planned for this deck. Then last for the attacks is Burning Rain. 5 water. If Burning Rain would deal more than 10 damage, it deals 10 damage instead. That's pretty nice for a build 0, dealing 10 damage, and the only caveat is, oh, you only get to deal 10 damage. To me, that's nothing. That's actually pretty nice. Yeah, no, this attack deck is not too shabby. As you guys can see, it's fire, water, and wisdom based, and there's an important reason for that. The important reason is when you see this team, you'll notice that they definitely play with those thoughts in mind. So with that being said, putting away the extras that I pulled away, we're going to take those away. I'm going to double check to make sure I didn't leave anything behind. Nope. Okay. And with that being said, let's move on to Mugic. We are going to start from top to bottom with, yeah, okay, cool. We have something for everything here. How about it? We have Surprising Rifts for one Magician, flip target battle gear face down. A lot of players don't have Mugic or battle gear that will allow it to flip itself back up again, so that's pretty nice. Then we have Mipedim Mirage, target attack deal 0 damage. So if your opponent plays like a Fire Ram, right, and they have Kaor the Fierce as well as equipped with a Whip Crack, have Kaor the Fierce with a Whip Crack that would typically deal 45 damage, but you play this and it deals 0, so that's nice. Then you have Refrain of Denial to Overworld Magician. Oh, by the way, this one's generic, costs 1. This is a Mipedim, costs 1. Refrain of Denial, Overworld, costs 2. Dispel target Mugic, period. Not too shabby. Overworld 1 Mugic, deal 20 damage to target creature, Cannon of Casualty. Unbalancing Battle Song, it is a Danian Mugic, costs 1. Caster gains 15 energy, and creatures engaged with caster lose 15 energy. That's pretty nice. And last but not least, we have the Swabberton Battle Song. It is probably one of the least bad Marillion Mugics. Costs 3. If a caster is engaged, opposing engaged creature and caster gain energy equal to their lowest discipline. So that's pretty helpful. I like it. No, I don't think I borrowed anything. Well, yes, I did. I borrowed 3 Mugics from this deck from other decks, so we're going to quickly go ahead and return them. But talking about these Mugics, I don't think they're too bad. They could definitely be worse, so take that with what you will. I personally like the Mugics that I chose. Again, I had some help making these. You guys are probably wondering, what about creatures? Going from back row to front row, we have the Azaya Mind Probe. Equipped creature cannot be targeted by Mugic or abilities with creatures with lower wisdom in it. It begins the game face up. The creature is Nirvana. Looking at 60, or rather, going from top to bottom, 50 courage, 60 power, 80 wisdom, 55 speed, 40 energy. Remove 2 Mugics, deal 5 damage to target creature for each tribe you control. If you only control Nirvana and Avena, you pay 1 instead. Which, that would be 10 damage for 1 Mugic for that. Or, in this case, since we have 5 separate tribes, that's 25 damage. That is a Cannon of Casualty plus 5. She's important because the next card in question, this is our combo maker, is the Weightless Energy Vessel, which is attached to Naina. Now, Naina has a special ability, which will trigger off somebody in the front row. Here, I'll do that. Done. Naina has a special ability, which will help in a second. Weightless Energy Vessel. Equipped creature may not be the target of music cards. Reveal this card at the battle gear at the beginning of the game. I'm talking too fast. And there's a hair. Done. Hair gone. And with that being said, Naina has a special ability. 65 courage, 10 power, 45 wisdom, 60 speed, 50 energy. Once per turn, you don't have to pay a music for this. It's just a standard ability. Once per turn, remove a music counter from a target creature. If you do, put a music counter on another creature controlled by the same player. That's essentially the same ability as Inner Flood. Now that will become helpful because I have a way to transfer music to essentially gain health a lot, given the fact that, I have somebody in the front row who is extremely helpful with this deck. Now next, we have the Orcus Unden. When a creature becomes engaged, gain water. That is equipped to Avena. 50 courage, 60 power, 95 wisdom, 35 speed, 65 energy, 1 music, heal 5 damage to target creature for each tribe you control. Again, there are 5 tribes, so that's 25 energy healed. That is a Song of Resurgence plus 5. And if you control Avena and Navena, or rather, if you only control Avena and Navena, Avena gets 20 energy and Defender. So that means she would have 85 energy. That is awesome. That's so good. That's so good. I like her a lot. She's my healer of this deck, as well as just a good fighter. But in the front row, we have the Sun Chariot of Kensep. Equipped creature is engaged, gets fire, with Kepion. Kepion has 45 courage, 50 power, 45 wisdom, 30 speed, 40 energy. When Kepion gets 10 energy and 10 to all disciplines for each tribe you control. Again, I could transfer music to him, so that way I can cast Swapperton Battle Song, the Dania music. So that's helpful. And plus, since I have 5 tribes, that's 50 to all my disciplines and 50 energy added. So with that being said, he would have 95 courage, 100 power, 95 wisdom, and 80 speed with 90 energy. That is stupid. Like, that is really good, considering he's also in my front row. Then on the far right, this is where combos kick off. We have the Sword of Kayat. Equipped creature gets 5 energy and 15 speed. If it's a warrior, it gains when this creature deals 20 or more damage, deal 5 damage to target creature. That helps because I have Nuck Warren. Looking at 45 courage, 75 power, 80 wisdom, 45 speed, 55 energy. Equipped with the battle gear, he would have 60 speed and 60 energy. With fluid, he has Fluid Morph. All attacks played by him count as fire and water attacks, even if it's base. Similar to Invader's Tactics, it would automatically count towards Fluid Morph, so that would help. If Nuckwarn has exactly 3 music counters on it when it is defeated, you may return it into play in an open space on your side of the battle board with no music counters. He is so good, especially with the Fluid Morph. Because let's say I activate Naina's ability to give to Avena. I could use Avena's ability twice, so I would get 50 energy healed. That is monstrous. So with that being said, that's who's on the far right. Now you're probably wondering, well, who's the main man or main woman of this deck? Well, I'm going to warn you, it is a man. We have the Sword of Kayat. I already said what it does. 5 energy, 15 speed. If it's a warrior, if it deals 20 or more damage, deal an additional 5. We have Tangith Toborn, Overworld General, super rare, looking at 50 courage, 80 power, 85 wisdom, 25 speed, 55 energy, putting him at 60 with the Sword of Kayat. He has Defender. If on an opponent's turn, he will gain Fire 5 if I control an Overworlder, Disarm if I have a Mipedim, and Element Proof all element types 5 if I control a Daemon. And would you believe me, I have all of those on the team. Now, I have thought about replacing Kepion with Nequin, just so I can avoid that 1 music per turn. But I think tossing a turn just to toss a music is fine, especially for Kepion. So all my fighters are very formidable. They all could play the attacks necessary. And yeah, with that being said, that's the video. So the idea is I have made a deck where Nuckwarn's Music Transfer, thanks to Naina, could go to Nevena for burning effects, Avena for healing effects, to bounce off each other, like the sisters would. And I could transfer, you know, Mujix and all that to deal damage across the board onto many sources. But with that being said, that is gonna be the video, guys. I actually had a blast trying to make this deck. Let me know what you guys thought down below. I've already explained the combo setups and the things you could do with it. I really hope this will benefit somebody, and if it does, great. And if it doesn't, well, there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys. Peace.